Hey, Merry Christmas. Welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews, even though I'm shooting this 2 days in advance. So, what better time for a Christmas Belgian beer than on Christmas Day? We couldn't get 𝓑𝓻𝓮𝓻𝓂 Christmas Ale this year, so I'm hoping this one is a good substitute. I've never had it before. Gouden Carolus Christmas from Brouwerij Het Anker in Belgium. 10% ABV. Now, on the back, it says ruby and spice, but it doesn't really say which spices. And it's funny, it says it's brewed in August, but it was bottled in July. Fancy beer, poured in the fancy glass, and it is a dark... I mean, yeah, they were right about the ruby. I know it looks black on camera. It's not. It's like if I hold up to the light here, yeah, I can see the ruby highlights. Yeah, really beautiful, almost like a Cabernet or whatever like the darkest wine is. And, you know, I had about a 2-3 fingers of kind of slightly off-white eggshell foam. Before I get into the aroma, I just wanted to bring up the website real quick. So they call it Gouden Carolus. It's, you know, Gouden, which means Golden Charles, and it's a reference to King Charles IV. It was a king of Spain, and there was gold coins named after him. And on the website it says 10.5 ABV, but it's 10% ABV in the bottle. So I wonder if they water it down a little for like tax purposes. And it just says 6 exceptional herbs and 3 types of hops. It doesn't say which ones. So, you know me, I hate when breweries don't tell me everything. All right, so let's dive into this. Well, I mean, the first thing off the nose is classic Belgian, you know, kind of dark strong ale, like a Chimay Blue. But also, I would say like there's definitely like a little bit of licorice or star anise and probably a little bit of coriander. There's definitely kind of like a herbaceous kind of character to it. But also it's like this lovely fruity note, which, you know, it's pretty normal in Belgian beers like this, you know, so very, you know, like dried fruits, raisins. I think, you know, pretty raisiny. Maybe a little bit of cherry in there. It has like a slight kind of wine character as well. So like maybe like slight kind of black currant or red currant. Not vinegary though. So far so good. Let's see what this one's doing. Cheers. Yes. Well, right off the rip, like the first thing I noticed as soon as it hit my lips, I was like, yes, that's a Belgian beer. Like I said on the nose, you know, it kind of reminds me of like Chimay Blue, Rochefort, something like that. I will say, whatever those 6 herbs are, they use them pretty sparingly because they're not really coming through all that much. Slight star anise or black licorice, something like that. Definitely like a lovely spicy palate. And by spicy, I mean like, you know, yeast spicy, not, you know, jalapeno and habanero or something like that. Not that kind of spiciness. You know what that reminds me of? I was trying to put my finger on it. It has like a slight Dr. Pepper and also a slight kind of root beer kind of taste. So maybe there's like sarsaparilla or wintergreen in here. Yeah, and almost a prune kind of character, which... Prune, date, figs, raisins, stuff like that. That's pretty normal on Belgian dark beers like this. It has a slight, I can't put my finger on it. It's kind of like a licoricey kind of quality. I've tasted this in like some other Belgian beers, but it's not licorice exactly. I'm pretty sure I've tasted it in like Rochefort 12 or 10, whichever one is the strongest. Yeah, mouthfeel on this one is a little thinner than I was expecting. Carbonation is really high, though. You know, usually these beers are like full-bodied, but also high carbonation. But I would probably call this like medium body, but high carbonation. Yeah, the more I drink, the more I'm like, man, this is like root beer. Yeah, so whatever herbs and spices are in root beer, I kind of get a little bit of that in here. So it's like, you know, it's a nice balance between like these natural, you know, yeast, esters, and phenols, plus the added herbs, and they said 3 hops, but I have no idea which ones. Probably some kind of noble hop, which would kind of accentuate the peppery, spicy component. That 10% is like super smooth, very subtle. It almost feels like this bottle has been aged. I mean, I guess it has. Well, it couldn't have been because I saw 7/25/24 on here, and I was like, is that the expiration date? But I looked closer and it says production date, which doesn't really make sense. It's really more like the fill date. I think the production date is when they brew it, not when they fill it. So I wasn't 100% sure if this was bottle conditioned. Doesn't look like it, but I always, with these types of Belgian beers, I like to, leave a little bit in the bottle, and then once I get down to the last few ounces, add the yeast or whatever it is and see if it makes a difference. So let's find out. No, it tastes pretty much the same to me. Yeah, every time I drink this beer, I'm like, it has like this Dr. Pepper / root beer kind of flavor to it. I would say, I wouldn't really call it like sweet. It's not so much sweet as it is like malty, but also like the Belgian candy syrup. So it's sweet in that it's not like sugary, and it doesn't taste like unlike a pastry style that has like added chocolate or caramel or whatever like that. This just tastes like all naturally sweet. But I would say it's like about as sweet as a Chimay Blue or a Rochefort or something like that. But at the same time, it's also very spicy. Yeah, I like this one. I like 𝓑𝓮𝓮𝓲𝓷 better. I haven't had that one in a while because I don't know, we just didn't carry it this year. So yeah, I really like this one. I'm going to give it pretty high. I think I'm 8.5, maybe 9. I think 8.5 is fair. Like I like this one, but it's not really blowing my top or anything like that. But yeah, solid Belgian beer. In fact, I think it would score higher if we were actually scoring to spec. Yeah, it's really that good. So if you've had this one, let me know if you thought what you thought of it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys for Teetotaler Thursday. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.